One day a thunderstorm broke out and the elephant went to the man who was inside the hut seeking the help. Only to keep his trunk the man had given the place, but later on the man was thrown out of the hut and the hut was occupied by the elephant. As per the jungle's law, it says that man is not well educated to understand the jungle law. Whatever the committee was appointed, it was of no use for the man, because every time it was in the favor of the animals. Hello everyone, I'm Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysuru. In my previous session, I had discussed about the syllabus. What are the syllabus you have in your first PUC and which are the two textbooks you need to refer? So for the literature, you'll be referring reflection, and for the grammar part, it's the articulation. These are the two textbooks for the complete year. So from the reflection textbook, I'll be taking the very first chapter, that is the Gentlemen of the Jungle, written by Jomo Kenyatta. Here I'm talking about gentlemen. What did I say? It is gentlemen, not man. So you'll get to know about all these things when I start with the chapter, or when I start explaining about it, you'll get to know what exactly about gentlemen. So let's begin the session for the day. Before I start with the chapter, you should know about the author. Knowing about the author is very important. The author of the Gentlemen of the Jungle is Jomo Kenyatta, and he is an African politician leader and first president of Kenya. So what is he? He is an African politician leader as well as the first president of Kenya. And a Kikuyu, he was one of the earliest and the best known African nationalist leader. Here it is referring to Kenya. So he is the best known African nationalist leader. Who is that? It is Jomo Kenyatta. A secretary of his tribal association, he campaigned for land reform and African political rights. This is all about the author, Jomo Kenyatta. Before I begin with the session, you should know the background of the story, how it is related to the chapter. So this is the background. So this chapter begins with the light on 19th century colonial era and misuse of supreme power by Europeans in Kenya. So it is about the European countries as well as Kenya. Why did the European come to India? They came to India for trading purpose. But what did they do at last? They tried to conquer each and everything. The same thing happened with the Africans here. First, they came to, what did they do? What the Europeans did here, they came and they tried to dig out all the precious diamond and then tried to separate the country there. So here what happens here in the sense, the Africans lost all whatever land they had cultivated, everything was lost, and without their information, the Europeans tried to sign the treaties from the Africans and they were thrown out from the country. That is what the Europeans did. So the land they had traditionally lived and cultivated, everything the Africans lost. They lost their lands as well as they traditionally lived and cultivated. Everything was lost because of the Europeans. This lesson is narrated in the form of a fable. It is narrated in the form of fable. It's a fiction which reflects the attitude of the Kikuyu of Kenya towards European laws and commissions. So it's about the European laws and commissions. Here in this chapter, Europeans are referred to the elephants here, or the animals in this chapter, and the Kikuyu or the Africans are the man here. So this is the background of the story. So now let's begin the session. So the chapter begins like this. What is the first line here? Once upon a time. Why the author uses these lines here, once upon a time? You might have heard from your grandparents or great-grandparents saying a story when you go to a bed during your bedtime. So when they start beginning the story, what they say, once upon a time there was a king and a queen. They might have started in such a way. The same thing the author has used so that he can reach the readers. So he begins the story like this. Once upon a time, what happened there? An elephant made friendship with a man. Who made friendship? An elephant made friendship with a man. Is it possible in real life that an elephant can make a friendship? It's not possible. But here in this chapter, the elephant is making friendship with a man. So why did he make a friendship here? One day a thunderstorm broke out and the elephant went to the man who was inside the hut seeking the help. So what did the man do? The man is very humble. As you all know, Indians are very humble. So by looking into the elephant, what did the man say? Yes, I don't have so much of space in my hut to keep you inside the hut. So it is not possible for both of us to stay inside the hut. So instead of keeping yourself, you can just put your trunk inside my hut. That's what the man says. So that even both of us can afford. We cannot sit together because I don't have sufficient place in my hut. That's what the man says. So here the elephant represents the European powers. What the elephant is representing? The elephant is representing the European powers and the man is a symbol of native Africans. So this chapter is based on what? It is between the Africans and the Europeans. What happened in between them? So but the story is narrated as the elephant. The European powers are related to the elephants or the animals in the jungle and the man is a native of Africa. This is what it represents. And he says, normally what we say, it is raining heavily. That is not the correct word. Instead of raining heavily, use the word torrential downpour. So what is torrential downpour? It is heavy rain. So it was raining heavily and the elephant did not have any place to keep himself. So what did he do? He thought of taking the help from the man. So the man asked the elephant or the man helped the elephant to keep only his trunk inside the hut so that even the man also can afford the place there. But what did the elephant do later on? So what did the elephant say? My dear good man, will you please let me put my trunk inside your hut to keep it out of this torrential rain? So here, my dear good man, this is told by the elephant. The elephant says, the man, can you please help me to put my trunk inside your hut from the torrential rain or the torrential downpour? So what did the man say? Man replied. What did the man reply? My dear good elephant, my hut is very small, but there is a room for your trunk in gently. What does the man say? The man says, yes, you can afford. I can give you a place to put your trunk inside, but my room or the hut is not so big. Only you can put your trunk as well as even I can also sit inside the hut. That's what the man replies. The hut is the symbol of natural resources available here. So here the natural resources of Africa, as I have told, whatever the precious thing, that is the precious diamond, whatever the Africans had, everything was digged out and taken out by the Europeans and they used and it was sold. That's what they did. So here the elephant says, you have done me a good deed and one day I shall return you kindness. So elephant is saying, the man, you have helped me from the torrential rain. One day in return even I will also help you. That's what the elephant says, the man. But let's see what happened later. But what followed as soon as the elephant put his trunk? So the man helped the elephant to put his trunk. But later on, what followed that? So the elephant, what did he do? The elephant first put his trunk. Later on, he tried to flung the man outside the hut. So only to keep his trunk, the man had given the place. But later on, the man was thrown out of the hut and the hut was occupied by the elephant. After occupying the place or the hut, what is the elephant saying to the man? The elephant said, my dear good friend, your skin is harder than mine. What does it say? Your skin is harder than mine. Is it true? No. We all know that elephant skin is harder, not the man's skin. But the elephant says, your skin is harder than mine. The elephant says, we don't have so much of space. So instead of we both staying inside the hut, you can afford in a rain because your skin is very harder. That's what the elephant says the man, and the man is flung out of the hut. While I'm protecting my delicate skin from the hailstone. What is hailstone? The ice, that is the ice which will be balls. You call it as alikalu. That is what the hailstone which is falling, and the elephant says, so that I can protect myself from the hailstone. That is what the elephant says. The hut was built by man to build and to complete it. But at last, who is occupying? It is the elephant who is occupying the man's hut. So now the man is totally disturbed and he starts to grumble. So later on, let's see what happens here. So the man starts to grumble. So when the man starts to grumble, the other animals which were nearby come running to see what has happened there. So during that time, the lion here, it's referred to the Queen of England. So the lion is referring here to the Queen of England. So the lion come making a roaring sound saying that, who is disturbing the peace of my kingdom? So the lion got to know that there is some disturbance, and he says, who is that disturbing the peace of my kingdom? The elephant says to the lion, we are not disturbing the peace of your kingdom. It is a little bit of discussion between me and my friend. That is what the elephant says. So what is this then? What does the lion reply for that? The lion who wanted to have peace and tranquility in his kingdom. What the lion wanted to have? Peace and tranquility. Tranquility without any disturbance. He wanted to have peace and tranquility in his kingdom. So the lion asked the elephant to appoint a commission of inquiry. So for whom? Who is appointing a commission of inquiry here? The lion has given a permission for the elephant to appoint a commission of inquiry. So here what does the lion says to the man? Don't worry, your hut will be written back. That's what the lion tries to say to the man. So what happened later? The elephant decides to appoint the commission of inquiry. Has what lion told? The same thing the elephant is following now. So the elephant is appointing a commission of inquiry. So who are the members who were there in the committee? It is Mr. Rhinoceros, Mr. Buffalo, Mr. Alligator, the Right Honorable Mr. Fox to act as a chairman. Why? The author has taken the fox here because we all know fox is a cunning animal and he is appointed as a chairman, and Mr. Leopard to act as a secretary. So these are the 5 members which was appointed by the elephant for the commission of inquiry. This question will be asked for 1 mark. They might ask all the 5 animals or any 2 members of the commission of inquiry, or who was appointed as the chairman and the secretary. These 5 commission of inquiry is very important. It will be asked for 1 mark. Now, what did it happen later? So the man demanded someone from his side. So the committee was appointed, but the committee was appointed on behalf of whom? On behalf of the elephant, but there was no one from the man's side. So the man is demanding now someone from his side. I want someone to be on my side. What does he say? But they denied, saying no one from man's side is educated enough to understand the intricacy of jungle law. What does it say? Intricacy of jungle law. The lion says, no one, the man cannot understand the man is not so educated to understand the jungle law. So don't worry, there will be no one on behalf of you to give an argument. That's what the lion says here. There was nothing to fear, as the member of the commission were all men of repute for their impartiality in justice, and as they were gentlemen chosen by God to look after the interest of race less adequately endowed with teeth and claws. So the lion says, you need not to worry, you will be given the justice. Whoever the committee or members were appointed, everyone will look into the argument between the man and the elephant, and later you will get the justice. The justice will be given on behalf of you. So please not to worry, because you don't have anyone from your side. And here the man was worried and the man was scared because of the teeth and claws. Teeth and claws in the sense, here the animals. If we go against their rules, they might kill him. That's what the man thought. The animals might eat him off. The Africans here, the European might kill the Africans. That's what it seems to say. He was scared of the teeth and claws. The man was scared of the teeth and claws. So he did not utter a word and agreed to the lion's words, and he was happy that he might get justice. The words which was spoken by lion, by hearing that, he was happy that his hut would be returned back to him. So let's see what followed next. So next, the commission sat and the elephant is called to provide evidence while he come brushing his tusk with a sapling which Mrs. Elephant had provided, and said in an authoritative voice. So here, who is giving the first evidence here and who was called? It was the elephant. The elephant was called to give the evidence for the first. So later on, it was the chance of the man. The elephant come brushing his tusk and start to give his evidence. Let's see what was the evidence given by the elephant here. So the elephant says, "Gentlemen of the jungle, there is no need for me to waste your valuable time in relating a story which I am sure you all know." So what is the elephant saying? He is addressing the gentlemen of the jungle and says, "I don't want to waste your valuable time, because each and every know about the dispute." What is the dispute? It was the elephant who has occupied the man's hut, and there was a disturbance, and now they have appointed a commission of inquiry, and the elephant is giving his evidence now. So I have always regarded it as my duty to protect the interest of my friends, and this appears to have caused the misunderstanding between myself and my friend here. So here the elephant is giving a different picture. What happened? It is different, and what the elephant is saying to the king, it's totally different here. So what does the elephant says? It's my duty to protect when a friend is coming and asking for a help. If it is other animals in my place, they would have also done the same thing. So I just tried to help the man when he asked for the help. That is what the elephant is saying now. So what was the help here? He invited me to save his hut from being blown away from hurricane. So what is saying? The elephant is saying that the man himself called me inside the hut because his hut was about to blown away from the hurricane. Actually, what was the story? The elephant came to the man asking for the help during the time of the torrential rain. So the man had given him a little space where he can put his trunk, but later on the elephant flung the man outside the hut, and the hut was occupied by the elephant. But here, what is the picture he is saying? He says that the man himself called me into the hut to protect it from the hurricane. So see how cunning is the elephant. So as the hurricane had gained access owing to the unoccupied space in the hut, I considered it necessary in my friend's own interest to turn the undeveloped space to a more economic use by sitting in it myself, a duty which any one of you would undoubtedly have performed with equal readiness in similar circumstances. So, to protect his hut, which was about to blow away from the hurricane, I myself went inside the hut and protected it from the hurricane, because it was the man himself who asked me for the help. So I have done my duty. This is what has happened. That is what the elephant gives his evidence to the each and every one who were present there. But later what happened? The commission was called. Mr. Hyena and other elders of the jungle who also supported the elephant's evidence. So the other members, the committee members were called and asked, is it the fact? So what does the animal says? All the animals support elephant, and says yes, whatever the evidence given by the elephant is correct. The man himself called the elephant because it was the unoccupied space in the hut. So the man asked him to protect it. So the elephant had to occupy the space and protect it from the hurricane. That's what the animals also agree, and they support the elephant. Whatever the evidence given by the elephant was supported by all the animals. While man began to give his account on the dispute. So the elephant evidence is given. Now it's the time for the man to give his dispute. What was the dispute happened? It is the man's turn to give the evidence now. They cut him short by saying, "My good man, please confine yourself to relevant issues. We have already heard the circumstances from various unbiased sources. All we wish you to tell us is whether the undeveloped space in your hut was occupied by anyone else before Mr. Elephant assumed his position." Man began to say. So now the man was not given a chance to speak. When he was about to say, the words was stopped there. And they are asking him now, "My dear good man." The lion is asking the man, "My dear good man, could you please confirm, could you please tell us, was that unoccupied space, there was an unoccupied space, was it occupied by someone else before the elephant has come inside your hut?" So the man says no, but he wanted to continue. The king did not let the man to continue his words. He was stopped there. But let's see what happened later. But at this point, the commission retired to consider their decision. After listening to the elephant's advice, the committee has come to a decision to give the decision. What was the decision given here? After enjoying a delicious meal at the expense of the Right Honorable Mr. Elephant, they reached their verdict, called the man and declared as follows. So they had a delicious meal. After that, they called the Honorable Fox as well as the elephant to give the verdict. So what was the verdict given here? Was it in favor of the man or was it in favor of the elephant? Let's see what was the verdict given. So the verdict says, "In our opinion, this dispute has arisen through a regrettable misunderstanding due to the backwardness of your ideas. So we consider that Mr. Elephant has fulfilled your scared duty of protecting your interest." So what does they say? The dispute, it was a misunderstanding between you and the elephant, and you had made a friendship with one of my people, that is with the elephant, and due to the backwardness of the ideas. What does the committee member say here? At last we considered the elephant has fulfilled. So what was the picture given there? The man himself asked me to enter inside the hut because there was unoccupied space which was about to blow away from the hurricane. So to protect that hut, I went inside and occupied the space. That was the picture given by the elephant. So they says the elephant has fulfilled by protecting your hut. So you're the one who had called him inside, and it has come and it has protected, it has done its duty. So what happened next? Man, fearing that his refusal might expose him to the teeth and claws of members of the commission, did as they suggested. So what was the suggestion given here? At last, the hut was given to the elephant. It was given back to the elephant. By hearing the words or the lines from the lion, the man thought that the hut might be written back to him. But at last, what happened? The hut was given to the elephant because it occupied, or because it helped the man to protect it from the hurricane. The picture was given in such a way. So here the man was scared of the teeth and claws of the commission of inquiry. So he agreed for the suggestion whatever given by the committee members there. What happened next? But no sooner had he built another hut than Mr. Rhinoceros charged in with his horn lowered and ordered the man to quit. So here, what was the suggestion given here by the lion? The lion says that this hut will be given to the elephant because it has protected from the hurricane. So now you have to build another hut far from the place. So the man agreed for that. He was scared of the teeth and claws. He agreed and he built another hut. But once the hut is built, what happened? Now Mr. Rhinoceros is charging the hut. It is occupied by rhinoceros. What happens then? Again, it is the same thing. Committee is called and the evidence was given, and all the animals in the jungle was in favor of Mr. Rhinoceros, and again the hut was given back to Mr. Rhinoceros. Here the man is struggling to build the hut, but each and every time what happens, one or the other man is occupying the hut. So this followed until all the animals in the jungle were accommodated with the hut. Until when this followed? Till all the animals in the jungle got their huts, this continued. The man is to build the hut, each and every animal comes and occupies it. But when the commission is called, every time it was in favor of the animals. There was no one to support the man here also. Because as per the jungle's law, it says that man is not well educated to understand the jungle laws. That's what it says. But here, till how long the man could tolerate this? For each and everything there is an end. The man tolerated, and let's see what happened later. So the man decided to adopt an effective method of protection. Since commissions of inquiry did not seem to be of any use to him. So what did the man decide? The man decided for an effective method of getting his hut back or to protect himself. Why? Because the commission of inquiry did not seem to be of any use. Whatever the committee was appointed, it was of no use for the man because every time it was in the favor of the animals. So it is compared to the Europeans here. Every time it was in favor of the Europeans. So the Africans was thrown out. Everything was grabbed by the Europeans, and without their knowledge, the treaties was signed. The same thing here happened. Whenever the man built the hut, it was occupied by each and every animal. Until every animal got their hut, the man kept on building a hut, but no justice was given. It was impartial justice for the man each and every time. So the man, he himself decides to protect himself, and he says the commission of inquiry is of no use for me. So what did he decide? He sat down and said, there is nothing that trends on the earth that cannot be trapped. Or in other words, you can fool people for a time but not forever. So what does he say? You can fool people for a time but not forever. So until now, the man was fooled by the animals. Each and every time, one or the other animal comes and occupies the hut, and the evidence or the justice was in favor of the animals itself. So you can fool the people once, twice or thrice, but for the fourth or the fifth time, they will revert back. The same thing happened with the man. Himself tried to control each and every time because he was scared of the teeth and the claws of the animals. But later on, he decides that if I don't go against them, if I don't try to protect myself, I'll be not having any justice. They don't give me any justice. It will be an impartial justice with me each and every time. So he says, you cannot fool people for more than once or twice. So what does it decide at last to do? Early one morning, when rest of the huts began to decay, he went and built a bigger and better hut a distance away. What did he do? Once when the rest of the huts began to decay, the man went and built a bigger and better hut a distance away. From a distance away, he built a bigger and better hut. What was his idea? What was his plan of building a bigger and a better hut? Sooner, all the animals fought for their places in the hut. When all the animals saw the bigger and the better hut, what did they do? All the animals tried to occupy the space in that. So when they were tried to occupy the space in the bigger hut, the animals started to fight among themselves for the place inside the hut. I want that room or this room. There was a fight among themselves. So at that time, what did the man do? While the man set the hut on fire and burnt it to the ground. So when all the animals had occupied and they were fighting among themselves, when he saw that, the man burned the hut on fire. He burned the hut completely because all the animals were inside the hut and no other animals were outside and no one was there to come and occupy the hut again and again. So when he saw all the animals together, he burned the hut completely. Then he went home saying, "Peace is costly, but it's worth the expense," and lived happily ever after. So what he says, peace is costly, but it worth the expense. So he had tolerated, he controlled, and he had lot of patience because each and every time it was occupied, the hut which was built by him was occupied by all the animals in the hut. There was lot of patience with him, but till how long he can have patience? But at the end, what did he do? He just tried to burn the hut when all the animals was inside. So it says it is worth the expense. So toleration, he couldn't tolerate at last because every time it was in the favor of the animals. At last, this was the thing he did, and later he lived happily inside his hut. This is all about the chapter, The Gentleman of the Jungle. I hope you have understood. From this chapter, you can expect 1 mark, 1 question as well as 4 marks, 1 question. So the weightage of this chapter is for 5 marks. I hope I'm clear with this. The next is the glossary here. It is nothing out of the text. Everything it is from your chapter itself, that is from The Gentleman of the Jungle. So in my next session, I'll be discussing about the poem, The Schoolboy. Get prepared for that. And when you sit for the class, sit along with your textbook. Thank you.